Afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda Hero Strike Defender of the Fatherland. The setting is Budapest 1944. The Russian army is getting, further and further into the town of the city as the German and Hungarian defenders do their best to force them out, no matter the cost. In the south, we got Brett and Smiley here with Soviets both here. Got motor, got rifle, third combined arms army, more got rifle than mechanized spot and finally shock rifle with a mix of infantry and infantry bonuses, plus some Katyusha and tank bulletins versus the German army here with the Feldherrnhalle Panzergrenadier with fortifications, Luftwaffe ground forces, spec ops, Jaeger armor, Festung armor, and mechanized assault with large infantry, some infantry eccentric, and a bunker one actually as well, with some anti-tank as well there for Dots. We got a Grenadier MD-42 build here for Dots as Diane heads with Volksgrenadiers and a Kubelwagen to support the Sturmpioniere. Here we got Engineers grabbing the fuel and conscripts moving up. Here we got a Spawn Company build for Smiley with a Magnum following up. Then his infantry as he pushes centre and east. So he's spreading out quite aggressively. Sturmpioneer seem to be waiting for something here. Perhaps an opportunity to gun down someone in cold blood. Synchronized helmet scratching? That's just weird. Alright. 1, 2, 3, scratch! Why are you scratching your helmet? God damn it, Ludwig. That's the third time you don't scratch in synchronicity, you idiot. More comfortable away there for Bread. And they're going to get shredded out in the open. The Sturmpanzer Kuban pretty much makes it hard for them to shoot back. A nice little combo there by Diane, but it's going to really hurt the conscripts there and allow the engineers to be dealt with easily as well afterwards. So strong engagement here for Diane in the first few moments in the south. We can see here though that Dots is encountering a bit more resistance from the Soviets. We can see here that Diane's recently got a full squad support by flanking the maximum. Grenadiers suppressed here in the trench, contributing to the other side. Pioneers to defend the fuel, at least attempting to, but then before two covering the small square. There we go. Pushing the back the Russians a bit. Maxim there. Catching the Volksgrenadiers as they tried to flank up. Be unfortunate up north here though. Sturmpioneers interesting enough did not pushing against the engineers, standing out there finding a range. A bit of a mistake I think by Diane. And the Kubelwagen also went down. It's not entirely sure what happened there, but that did not quite go as well as it could. I think there's a bit of weird misplay there by Diane, I feel. Even if I've missed some parts, a bit more Volksgrenadiers away. There we go. Grenadiers now trying to take the maximum there. Then again, he might have simply due to the fact he's trying to handle the Volksgrenadiers down. He just tried to do too much, which is certainly not impossible. We got a mortar on the way there for Dots, help deal with the Soviet support weapon build, though we got more conscripts up here for Dots first. But they're just with 4 conscript squads and not much else sort of happening there. Fight there in the west is sort of slightly not favoured for Diane at the moment. His forces have been pushed back for the most part. We can also see here that Dots is rolling back a bit. And he's setting up here to defend for now, trying to withstand the next Russian push as he builds up enough force to make an advance again. Here in the west, forces is basically being surrounded by conscripts, I think trying to buy time for the rest of the forces. So I'm making engage the promise is just such a concentration of conscripts that he's going to have to make a bigger push of attack to make any impact. Otherwise, he's just feeding troops, I think, to Bread. Sturmpanzer moving to deal with engineers this time. They are seemingly able to do it, though not before Ludwig there stumbles over that sandbags on the point here. Consistent sandbagging there. Unit wipe there. In fact, Brett lost his engineer squad, was handling a bit too much. Therefore, in the trench being overwhelmed. As the trench is also filling with conscripts. We've got Sturmpioneers getting more conscripts now. Or Volksgrenadiers, but now the Sturmpioneers are being simply swarmed by the conscripts. They just don't have enough firepower. And for more importantly, they don't have enough health. Seems like the map is sort of being split half over, basically along this line. With the west basically being, or south, Soviet in the north, east, German. So that's a bit of an interesting development there. Mortar plus more Grenadiers there for Dots, constantly moving about here. We got the Grenadiers trying to flank behind, but up close the conscripts will have the advantage with the Grenadiers already low on health. Not able, I think, to withstand much more engagements there. Take up happening here for Diane. That's going to be the battle group headquarters. The way it's set up, he could even be trying to consider supporting his teammate with a medic set as well there. Wouldn't be a bad idea at all. Take up happening for Dots. We're finding here in the streets of, Budapest. Mortar there being assaulted by the conscripts is quite exposed to the MD-42, so not able to cover. This is covering the victory point and approach to the fuel. So a bit unfortunate there for Dot. He's going to have to retreat that. He's being suppressed in the centre by another, the Maxim. And up here we can see Diane is trying to push ahead again with lots of full-screen support gun leads there by Dots. And up north, more infantry pushing through. You can see the north side now is completely open as bread collapses. Like, well, bread, I guess. I'd like to make a nice company going up there for Dots. Mortar's going to need some reinforcements back in the third base, and nothing further is happening. We of course got replacement new squad there for Brett, and we got motor first auction chosen here within the first 6 minutes of the game. Continue advancing full squad. They need to retreat as they're being absolutely overwhelmed here, and we got heavy mortar out there for Brett. Some heavy artillery there for the Marxists as they sail German lines, and we got mechanized support here for Smiley. So both have got doctrine with guards in them, but of course with a few other sort of options there. Flak half tag out here for Diane to help defend the streets against the Bolshevik tide. John Pioneers are making short work of the engineers. The assault rifles at that range can easily deal with it. And the full assault covering far as well. This was used. Oh, he merges with them. Nice move there by Bread. Not a lot of players actually use merge, but used well. It is a nasty little ability. In this case, allows him to beat the Sturm Pioneers and the engineers. So nice work there by Brett, very nice work. Flak after that almost done. He might have to retreat in the end though, but still pushing back the Sturm Pioneers at least should make things a lot easier for the next wave. Hey, Mortify there, running down, I imagine, any moment now here. He might try and catch the German mortar, but then wipe it out. Take over there happening for Smiley. So he's going to probably be rushing out a light tank, which could mean that Brett might be trying to just push for a fast T-34. Not impossible, not impossible. From Dots here we got 2-2 Electric Punches Speedwagon out here, supporting the flak half tank and Diane's infantry as they push for the centre here. Getting control of the junction there. But there you go, straight into the conscripts. We do have anti-tank grenades up here. Smiley was prepared, and the damage engine that happens on the 2-2 flak half tank supporting infantry as they push further closer to the cutoff point here. Hey, mortar retreats, having a distinct feeling it should not really want any of that. In the far southeast though, we can see here that Smiley's making a move there for the fuel to harass it. Very nice move there, very nice work compared to the Germans who haven't been really trying to harass the Russian fuel supply. Here we got Fulton being pushed back by the Guardsmen, DP light machine guns on the way. Fulton going to need to be careful, 2-2 being fixed up. And we got the flak half track setting up. The counters there are easily caught and suppressed. Here we got the Guardsmen, the engineers coming back, the 2-2 falling back. MD4 providing ample covering fire makes it harder here for Smiley to form up a defence. Very good use of the machine gun there by Dots. 2-2 rolling into deal with the harassers, using the sandbags there against him. Also very nice work there by Smiley. And there you go, finally up on the fuel point there with the veteran 2 Sturm Pioneer squad with 11 kills. We're heading out on our way. They're clearly anticipating some sort of Russian vehicles by now. Support company and a field gun up there. And nothing out of the 10% command as of yet there from Smiley. Gun is about to get wiped out. If he doesn't retreat right into the trench, the lands a decent hit. And we got spare cops there for Diane, leaving only Dots but a dot, and we got flares off. And hey, Mortify there, leaving some of the grenadiers rather mauled. And here though, Pioneers push back to 2 is not particularly they push back the conscripts on his own. And the main gun is out. He can't now do anything about the conscripts. Really bad news. He's going to need to divert more forces towards the field point. Mortify running down here by the southern ruins. Hey, Mortify there though wipes out a grenadier squad, leaving Dots short on infantry. He's going for a panzer grenadier squad instead. I think that's a pretty good choice. And the 2-2Z for trying to escape. The conscripts just keeping a nice jogging pace. Step on it, Helmut! I'm trying! Oh! Here, finding over the fuel continues to happen, and we got a big counterattack here from Brett with a lot of infantry. Diane is getting the flak half track up here, though he really should also think, there we go, consider an MG34 to help deal with this. Just so he doesn't, can use his flak half track a bit more freely. So moving ahead here, Flag half track rapidly inbound. And I think we got a T-70 out there for Smiley. And there we go, flag half track to work on the Russians. Don't worry, Jürgen, just keep shooting until the screening stops. That's usually when I do, or used to do. Before I got made the commander of this thing. T-70 moving up, here again, effort is nicely set up. There we go, good hit on the T-70. Clearly not something that Smiley was anticipating. Good to use another hit. Except the gunner misses. And there you go, T-70 causing the infantry quite a bit of grief here. A mortifier continues to rain down ceaselessly. And here we go, Panzers making short work of the engineers. The engineers standing no chance against such stalwart German infantry. They've got a guard squad nearby. Panzers here, I think, wisely falling back rather than trying to shoot it out at range with the unit with DP light machine guns. Up north, skirmishing continues as well. Diane is sadly forced to fall back here in the face of stiffening surge resistance. Panzers are falling back towards heavy cover. Gonna need support there, otherwise they will lose. They simply can't match this level 5 pun, particularly not at those ranges. Like the Russians just have the advantage here. So unless he's actually planning to stall to bring up something, and it doesn't look like he should just retreat the Panzer and just rather than waste manpower on it and feed his opponent experience. Quick attempt to lay down some air miles to make it hard for the opponent to get back to the fuel point. Back here healing reinforcement, and we got more tech there for dots. And another mortar. An interesting choice. I'd figure probably more Panzer would honestly doing better. But I guess another mortar could do the trick as well. Flak after taking a hit from the CoH2 field gun. Fighting overheating up, and there you go. Too slow to get the flak half track out. Dean pops smoke. Mistake there by Diane. And Brett scores himself a nice vehicular kill. Field gun being forced back. Yes, they've focused with his advantage. Got some of the assault rifles. Got more troops bringing up here to follow up as a second wave here. With Brett looking perhaps to try and envelop the attack and sort of slow down that way. Hard to say exactly. But there you go. Sturmpanzers being up carrying the flank of the second wave. Dealing with the consequences quite easily. And he's almost got the field and he could try and steal it. He could just try and salvage it. Dots remains the last player without a doctrine. I mean, mechanized assault theoretically would be an option, but I'm guessing Jaeger arm or Festing arm at this stage looks more likely. In these T-70s are sort of pushing back here, whatever Dot's got there. He doesn't have any counters to it. His support McCourt is not yet up, nor does he any fuel to do anything with it, so he's going to have to go for a Pack 40 here, or he has to upgrade the Panzer Grenadiers with Panzer Shreks, and he doesn't have the munitions for that either, so he's pretty much forced into Pack 40 here. Gets the field gun, but might not last long here as it becomes the target of a lot of intense Germs. There you go, destroys the field gun in the end, denying it to Bread. And the cemetery, it looks like a lot more Russians about to get interred there, so they just don't really get a lot of cover from, you know, standing out the bloody open right next to the tombstones. So successfully repulsing the centre door mortar there makes it very difficult for him to stay about. They really should just for back. Oh, he actually got the heavy mortar. That is big news, and he's going to seal it with the Panzer gun. He's going to have 3 mortars then. It's going to be absolute hell for the Russians. Nice work there by Dots. Brett finally taking up. Panzer trying to make off with a mortar. A nice flank here by Smiley. Doesn't get away with the heavy mortar. It's going to at least pay off somewhat for Smiley. Unless he's losing something else. I think he's using the Grenadiers in this case as bait to cut basically the retreat to, you know, threaten the T-7 of the Panther first and then just fall back as well. Support McCourt yet to go up there for Dots. Troops seemingly enforcing. A bit silly here. I mean, again, he just places here around. He could easily support his teammate with medics as well. Seems a bit silly to force Dots to have to go for a medic bunker. If you can sort of like help it. And to tank grenades no for him. Nothing out here. No mechanized armor company. You'd figure just push for that then. And try to get a T-45 as soon as possible, because the faster he is get medium armor out against the enemy, the better. And of course the worse for the Germans. Got guardsmen up for Brett, noting no DP light machine guns. And there you go, troops being suppressed by the MG-34, but in negative cover, it's going to get focused down, it's going to get killed. Of course, we got the German mortars setting up here already. And there you go, Dr. Kenrev's on the T-70, gets away though, but it was close because all the conscript is basically blocking its way out there. Right here though, I think Brett is getting a bit too blobby, needs to be spreading out his men more. In case of, machine gun mortar battle, say a well-thrown grenade here could really cause him some serious grief. Well, all of those mortars. Right, there's a lot of reasons you'd not be bunching up his men that close. He's lucky, I would say, he didn't get punished a lot harder. Machine gun they were but flamethrower engineers successfully repulsed. And in fact, it ends up being Smiley going for the mechanized armor company and not Brett, who seems to, been setting up for it. So that's a bit silly. He should definitely be getting on one up fast, and again, he should be pushing for T-35s very fast. And we got another truck on the way there for Diane, and still not a problem call here from Dodge. You'd figure he'd go for the Panzer IV soon, or at least try to take the Tier 4 fast. But he should probably go for a fuel cache then. So we'll see what ends up there. Maxim there on watch. Fuel gun hanging back in reserve. Ready to react to anything here or there. Looks like a Shroud Punch was going to set up here to defend the carve point for Diane. And gun needs suppressor. Got a Pack 40 hanging about nearby ready to support his troops, but right now most of the troops aren't even there. But there you go. Triple mortars. Able to lay down some heavy fire. Looks like the mortar crew they hit a flare mine, surprisingly enough. As an instant. Oh, funny enough, I suppose, rather than surprisingly. Panzer's trying to flank up. Choose on the way there for Smiley. Sadly, not the best throw there by Dot, and the conscripts eastward. Oh man, the Panzer Grenadiers, or whelm them. There's a Sturmpionier supported by folks. We've got the Kenner's just waiting for something to deal with. It's not there. I'm still surprised Brett isn't going for that mechanized armor. In fact, he's just floating resources. Come on, Brett. Stop stuffing yourself with bread. Sees him seeing up neat and tight, close, eventually two Grenadiers there in a tight spot. They'll help retreat. In fact, it might be too late now. Yeah, too late. Oh, up there for Dot. He's just down to one Panzer Grenadier squad, one Grenadier squad. Mortar needs to fall back as well. Pack wipe, machine gun wipe. Grenadier swap. He just lost most of everything. It's absolutely brutal series of blows there to Dot. Just lost so much. In fact, he's now got more mortars than anything. At least he finally said, I'm going for support of Panzer IV there, but when you have more mortars than anything else, I'd say you got a problem. And Smiley is very quick to basically just scavenge whatever he can there from Dots. Sensibly enough, mechanized armor company out, finally going out for a bit. I could have been up much sooner than he could have been pushing for tanks much sooner as well. Come on, get the tanks out, Brett. Get the tanks. Because they're going for the fuel, we got air recons out here. So we finally got Jaeger armor there for Dots. Searching the skies, or from the skies, for any fascists. Or not fascists, but Bolsheviks. Which to call an artillery on them, man, just to get an idea of their movements. We got Orbison out here for Diane. We could maybe see some infantry Sturmgewehrs, just like machine guns. Basically not going to try and just rely on the command tank, which is definitely a good move. Panzer moving up the eastern side. Very nice there by Dots. Pinlock machine gun being added, but he definitely is going to need some more infantry after this. I mean, again, one Panzer in this squad supported by 3 mortars is definitely lopsided. Light machine guns there for the orbital line. Nope, cancels it. Goes for the infantry Sturmgewehrs instead. And there you go, retreat. Too many Germans. Wrong, Petrov. There's too many of them. Ah, niet. He didn't run fast enough. And running up the centre here, Foot is falling back. We got Kedmevs creeping about very silently. As Guardsmen and Country, they're trying to defend the centre victory point from any German advances. Sadly, lacking any serious anti-tank firepower, the Panzer will make short work of them. We got the pack and the Sis-3 moving up there. In this case, a flare just the nick of time there from Diane spots it, giving Dots sufficient warning to get out of there. There we go. 20 minutes of the game and he finally has a T-45. Though he easily could have it out much sooner. I mean, at least say, you know, 3 minutes, maybe even 4 minutes sooner. Or even 5. That's definitely, I would say, a bit sloppy played over him. Since he's throwing so much manpower anyway, you could have built, you know, fuel cache. You could have gone for a lot of things. Machine gun the repulse with the T-45. Floaters are falling back as well. Kenworth lands a good hit. Panzer IV there checks the eastern fuel point before allowing infantry in, and we just got all these support rooms hanging around each other. Katyusha for Brett. Smiley, I'm not entirely sure what he's going for there again. I think either player benefit from building fuel caches, even both of them could build one. And it wouldn't be a bad idea for Dots to build, you know, a single fuel cache to support him and his teammate. At least he's finally going for infantry because he desperately needs more infantry. More air reconnaissance. We got the floating forces supported by Sturm Pioneer Squad. Trying to fall back here. He's basically trying to bait him into the T-45. We got Panzer IV here as well for Diane. But that's going to struggle a bit versus the T-45. He might have wished he'd gone for a Panther instead. Waited just a bit longer. Ten kills on the T-45. They almost wipes out a float gun of the escort single-handedly. Mortar's just firing away. You could probably send him with a Mortar, I think, a bit closer to the front line. There you go. Veterancy 1 gained. Support weapons being pushed back. You can see there's something retreating from the west. As Brett launches a fresh counter, so infantry supported by the Katyusha. T-45 there is done as well. We'll see where that goes. Got the Panther 4 with the East Guards, but they need to be careful. Got the T-7 sneaking in there. Go great on the Panther 4. Constantly repositioning. You got air recons up from Smiley this time around. Gunners need to be a bit careful. Guardsmen almost being wiped out by just all of the mortars there that Dots has. And there you go. Grenadiers, looks like they're going to wipe them in retreat. And there's Smiley. He is super lucky, and he is the filthy bastard. He managed it somehow. In the west, you can see Diane's making a big push. We got Dracula still going in, trying to break up the attack, and almost getting a full support there. Guardsmen going up. T-45 creeping back as well. Falls back in the east here though. Panther 4 went down to the double anti-tank guns, shattering Dots. Panther 4 he goes for replacement. He's also gone for more grenadiers. Very good, very good. I think another Panther squad that would have been nice for him, but I'll wait as long as he just has 3 squads of infantry. He'll be in a decent spot. T-70 moving forwards. They're going straight for the exposed mortar crews. Aggressive, but in this case a very good read of the situation, as well, he doesn't have any anti-tank weapons to cover his own anti-tank weapons there, Mr. Dots. Panther 4 moving up the west side. T-45 there with the main gun knocked out. Panther 4 tries to get it. Decides not to push any further. Pat 40 on the west side there for Dots. Mortar wiped. Not the hay mortar, but nice going to be mortar more into the hands here of Smiley. Giving him a bit more firepower. And sounds like the T-center went down to a mine or something else. We got a half-track out here. Anti-aircraft are specifically there for Smiley. Probably to help shoot down the aircraft, but of course all just provide ample anti-infantry support. Flares off from Diane again. Double orbs are out there for Diane. Some with infrared assault rifles, some with the LMG-34. the Battle for Budapest saw, amongst other things, on the German side, several SS cavalry divisions finding in them, which, for most intents and purposes, you would basically consider them a Panzergrenadier division, except instead of trucks, they used horses. They didn't exactly fight from the horses, but a little fun fact there. They also had hetzers in with them. These take on these being suppressed here by all of the fire there. We got machine coming here from the wreckage of the war, mostly gone there. Going for the fuel again. The Germans aren't getting a ton of fuel, and it looks like Dot is actually aiming for the elephant right now. Curious choice. Diane is getting maybe a command panther, though I think a regular panther would do him more good now. Brett hereby is floating a ton of ammunition. He's got like 600. He's at least built, you know, lay down a ton of mines. I mean, there's no reason they're going to be floating that much munitions. There you go, grenade off, but not quite enough. We got the half-track floating heavy fire cover there with its quad 50 caliber machine guns. And the guardsmen get wiped by a bomb grenade. Nice throw there by Dots. Victory points was tiny lead here to the Germans. Tiny. Rifle grenade off, maximum almost done, continuing to retreat. Heavy multiplier, they continue to rain down. I'm assuming Smiley might be trying to set up for the iron shoot. 152 now. Oh, that's a really bad position there by the Panther. He's supporting with infantry. I would say the overweight did. It was pretty awkwardly done. Like the infantry should have moved ahead to look for any anti-tank weapons, also clear out some of the infantry, and he shouldn't be, you know, bearing in his Panther 4 like that. That was definitely poorly done there by the end. It just cost him a Panther 4 for no real gain, even a real purpose. That's just a waste there. That's just a waste. Hot pursuit here as more or less the whole of Diane's forces just retreat. Losing like cat mouse as well here. Pretty good push there by Brett, pretty good push. Basically taking advantage of Diane's, I would say, pretty poorly executed assault to just swing the game around very hard. Moving ahead, going for the orbital dart, an aircraft shot down. Crashing into some ruins of what was probably once a factory. Good use of the anti-aircraft target there by Smiley. Machine gun in the trench, avoiding most shots here from the T-45 from now. Machine gun opening up in the T-45. But obviously he's not really able to do much. He's soon not able to go for the Command Panther. Dots he can soon go for the Elephant. Unless he's actually planning using something on Tier 4, in which case he'd go for it. Command Panther around here for Diane. Panzerjäger's advancing, multiplying down on the machine gun crew. Continue to fire, in fact. Rockets flying and just absolutely missing everything. My God, Fritz, I thought you said you could aim these. No, I thought I couldn't aim these. Gotta listen closely. Sweeping through the center here, big push here. They're rather closely bunched up. I mean, a good artillery strike here. Mine could really have an impact there on Diane, so he needs to spread out his men better there. In the west, Command Panther up, getting the Katyusha though. That was definitely careless there by Brett, and a nice strike though. Dots or Smiley with it. Oh wait, it's dead. It's gone. It's kaput. Heavy pants go up there for Dots. And lots of there going on. Mortar fire raining down. Machine guns sounding off. And we got more recons here. Pan forgetting about the half track. Which, as you know, this half-track specifically has one of the highest chances of shooting down an aircraft compared to any other anti-tank weapon. I mean, it can do so much better than, say, the Ostwind, for example. Grenade off here against the machine gun. Almost got it. Half-track rolling ahead here. 3 kills so far. 2 of them aircraft. Comes to the Grenadiers here. Out in the open there. East targets for these hardened German infantrymen. And there you go, Command Panther strikes to get to put in the Command Panther, nothing new about except of course those 2 anti-tank guns right besides behind the half tank. Right here though, he's lucky there's no target weak point loaded up, otherwise we could probably stun the Panther and then take 9 in conjunction with marked vehicle. Brett though continues just floating an absurd amount of ammunition. He just seems to be utterly in a state we just refuses to use it, which just seems weird. But Commander, we could lay down hundreds of mines. Yet, only fascists lay down mines. But Commander, shut up, Petrov. I'll hit you. On the way there for Diane, that's going to be the Mechanized Regiment. Help repair, maybe also set up for King Tiger, so of course he's got the Command Panther, so it can't. And there you go, Dots is going for something. It's going to be a Sturmpanzer, and he's already gone for a Panzer of Inch. No Panthers, just anti-infantry options here. Mortar there with 0 kills, and there you go, wiped out. The hay mortar there that Dots secured for the Fatherland is definitely proven quite good. 14 kills, halfway to Veteran 3. And we got another hay mortar out here for Bread. We'll see if that one ends up with the Germans as well. T-4 will swing up the west side here, right into at least one Veding Raketenwerfer. Bit risky here in particular since the Dust Nose opponent has a Command Panther in like this, in fact allowing to get Panther fausted. Because I think it's a bit of a bad move there by Brett, because I mean that makes it a lot easier for the Command Panther just to hunt it down and destroy it. So he must be feeling pretty confident that's not going to happen. And he's going to be proven wrong in said confidence too. Marking the T-3045. There we go, good hit, half health. In fact, less than we got more country up. Garps boarding squad should probably merge with the Garps using some of those conscripts. Orbs on contingency by calling fire there. T-35 escape. Sting using. No. He did it, he actually did it. Kind of lucky there for Brett though. Kind of lucky. Veteran 3 Sturm Pioneers arriving as well to support here. Conscripts pinned down to the ground by machine gun. And there's not much happening here. It's more about getting around the centre there for Smiley. But we can see Dots getting ready to push hard in the east here. The silhouette of the Sturmpanzer is clearly there. Sturmpanzer is getting ready to fall. Conscripts being annihilated here in the east. Heavy mortars, or Sturmpanzer just shattering through the conscripts. Heavy mortars behind camouflage as well. There's Smiley taking nasty losses. And we can see he's acting up his anti-tank guns to support in the west. Getting the Command Panther by the looks of it. A staggering blow there to Diane and the German army. Meanwhile though, Dot is looking better off. Smiley there, moments away from the ISU. He's got the fuel, he just needs a map. I can call in the Beast Killer, the Soweto boy. They're designed for blasting through fortifications dug in positions. Was also used in urban warfare to, clear out, any Germans in dug in positions and clear out streets. Usually also destroying the streets in the process. But there you go, ISU 152 here ready for Smiley. Should have the pin up machine gun coming up here. Maxim force back. We got the Sturmpanzer hanging around as well. Fun fact, the Sturmpanzer fired shells with more high explosives in them than the ISU 152. And he was actually more killed just destroying tanks through sheer violent force that way. If it actually could hit them. The Sturmpanzer 4 came about after the German arms experience in Stalingrad, where they realised they lacked a tank that was sort of to fight there. They sort of made some improvised versions out of Panzer 3s, but in the end they sort of came up with something a bit more solid, and that was the Sturmpanzer 4, which of course will later give way for the Sturmtiger. Panther following up here for Dots. Victory points wise is looking a lot less grand here for the Soviets. Brett thereby continues to float an absurd amount of ammunition. He really should be getting to mine aggressively. In the centre, Sturmpanzer they continue to embark ration positions inside the trenches. In the south, you can see Germany trying to push it. We got Panzer Strikes on the Panzer Grenadiers. There you go, Raf grenade off. In the west, we can see the ISU there laying down fire. Grenades going off. Crews dying out. Still yet to score a single kill there with the ISU 152, though it probably isn't too far off. There we go, good hit. Almost wiped the entire float's going to squad inside the trench. There you go, Panther Barracks here to break up the assault, and good God, got a conscript wiped, almost 2. Very nice strike there for Dots, and there you go, ISU almost wipes out a machine gun crew in retaliation. In the southeast though, or in the centre, we can see that Dots is making good progress. The Russian lines, they're collapsing. Part again and Mankin due to the mortars. Sturm Panzers are going for the conscripts, pushing them back. There you go. ISU lands an excellent hit there. But they probably need to try and push out here in the south. They probably need to, like, someone assemble a push, or an armoured force could sort of flank up behind, do some damage that way, sort of unravel the German lines. Instead, it seems like they are beginning to line up for some sort of big push around T. In this sense, they're basically telegraphing it to the Germans what they're doing if they're not careful, in particular with air recons out. By the way, good use of consistent air recons here by Dots. In this case, you can see, alright, the Russians are clearly up to something here, so you can see them move up support. Warn his opponent, if necessary. You need, teammate, I mean not opponent, good God. Hey, Russian, you seem to be lining up for an assault. I just want to warn you, that's a really bad idea. By the way, they're really being ready for the big push here. Could very well be an all-in, all or nothing. Heavy mortar they're ready as well. If they are, they should really be laying down a smoke screen to at least make it harder for the Germans to hit them, but they're not. They're just going all in there. They're just committing to it without the smoke screen. Conscript being the first to just get blasted apart. T-Fellows coming in. But Kedmev's nearby. Got the Sturmpanzer. Panther is all ready to support here. Two's being blasted. T-Fellows though taking heavy damage, and down it goes. Schwerpanzer Port's getting absolutely focused down bold. The anti-tank rounds ISU firing away as well there. Noting he's not firing armor-piercing rounds, he's firing high explosive rounds with it, meaning he can't deal with the tanks with it. T-55 they're down, he's down to just one tank now. Bread, instead of, it's actually losing his munitions, which is good. Field guns for Kedmev's just all firing, troops dying, he's getting hammered by the Panther, takes a hit there to get marked. Machine guns abandoned, the Kedmev's going forwards, ISU they need to be careful. Unit wiped. I think those are the Sturm Pioneers. No, those are Photogun Squad, and we got field gun bombarding. In the centre, trying to push here, take advantage of the main push here, hoping that's drawing away all the Germans. Clearly happening, as there are several German units defending the centre victory point as well. The assault here, I would say, in the north has stalled, and I think it's better off for the Russians just to pull back, rather than continue to commit to it. But it seems like they are nonetheless continuing at it. 18 kills in the ISU. Academy about to get wiped out. We see the Diane taking staggering losses down to just the Orbs line. The Sturm Pioneers brought in 2 machine guns comparatively. Dots has not really lost anything. Mostly because, again, Diane was just left to take the brunt of it. I mean, the Russians did take some heavy losses, so I don't think he quite take advantage of the fact that he just completely beat Diane Zilly. It was kind of close. More to push back. 20 kills in the ISU. T-55 sending out ISU, and there you go, finally going for the pin-up machine gun. It's also finally switched over to armor-piercing rounds. More T-55s out there for bread. We still should be laying down a lot more mines. Now it starts time to withstand the red storm through the streets. Machine gun's doing well, the Panther ready as well. We got another command Panther out for Diane, and we got the Panther ready here to unleash another bout of hell if necessary. Sturm Panther bombarding here the Russian infantry, getting out some good hits. And the Panther here dealing with the T-55. Units swap, but there you go, command Panther flanking here the ISU quite aggressively. Smiley's just not prepared. Panther gets the T-55, probably got the T-54 from 6 in the way, but that's not going to stop the Panther there either. Almost got the ISU. Desperately trying to keep the front towards the enemy. At this range, I don't think it matters much. Panther just has a very good chance of penetrating. So you're just keeping it, instead of, as long as you just keep it moving in front of the ISU, it's going to be in a good spot. Oh dear, looks like he gets away. Oh, good directed main gun out on the command Panther. But he needs to pull back that ISU for repairs. I mean, it's going to take one sneeze from the Germans. That thing's going to collapse. More gas from out there for Smiley. And go, excellent hit from the ISU. He's still not repairing it though. He's still not repairing it. It is still incredibly close to destruction. There you go, engineers running up. But 24 kills from the ISU is definitely not bad. Got some good wipes there against the Germans, leaving in fact now Diane just for the Oberst and the Sturmpanzer is one of the damaged command panther. The rest is gone. And Dots isn't exactly quite heavily equipped in the infantry department either. Sturmpanzer on the move, 13 kills, command panther being repaired, As Brett moves out, now the tank is all beginning to hit the fuel down there in the southeast. Very good, very good. And we got a Stuka drop off. Oh, on the ISU, he's not realising it until it's too late. 2 engineer squads gone, plus the ISU. A staggering blow there to the rations. We're already reeling after that less than successful assault head on. 69 points left versus 290. Command Panther gains veterans he won. And there you go, second Panther joining in. And there you go, T-Philip standing, only the T-Philip got Kevin out firing here close to the trenches, field going up as well. But the Russian forces are not in a good spot. Command Panther blitzes away to avoid death, and there you go. Now the T-54 blown up, Obersladen almost being annihilated here. So low on health, but also veteran free. Kills in the Panzerwerfer, so close to veteran G2. 58 points left for the rations, and there you go. Smiley and Brett surrenders. Loss here for the Red Army, a victory for the Germans, able to hold this part of Budapest at least for now, though I imagine there'll be another assault down the road. So some heavy, brutal, close quarters fighting right here on Stadtschut. Diane clearly the one putting more work there. I think Dots could have been more aggressive at times. But again, he actually did kills while I was plenty of work there. It's just and tank wise. Most I think it's because they tended to focus on Diane, allowing him to do more damage there. On the other end of the spectrum, Brett certainly was the one I think that at least they did. At least killing also almost lost the most there, same as his teammate. Damage was they were close up. I do think Brett could have mined a lot more when they actually had some ground there. That was definitely, I think, one of his mistakes. And there's also a lot of floating of resources from him. Like, he could have tanks up much faster, which would have been a much bigger problem for the Germans rather than getting tanks up when he did. So there's definitely some room for improvement there for Brett as well. And over that big assault, he was just, I think that was not very well executed. Should have set a smoke screen down, he should attack from a wider angle rather than just trying to attack for a small narrow spot, which makes it much easier for the Germans to defend against that. So there's definitely some room for improvement there as well. But there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, tell friends, share it with everyone. If not, send a new plan, provide some feedback in the comment section. This is Imperial Lensing. Cheers. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you all tomorrow for another episode. You're all a wonderful audience. Bye.